have been into healing work or healing myself, helping friends for as long as I can remember. I literally mental, emotional, and physical. And somewhere very early in my years, I came across Louise Hay. And a lot of people have heard of Louise Hay on some level, but I wanted to talk about Louise Hay, her work, and what I have found from it, what it is, because a lot of people don't understand what it is. Some people definitely do. But it's Louise Hay dedicated her entire life to teaching people that illness, regardless of what it is, emotional, mental, physical, is because of repeated thoughts in the mind, limiting beliefs, things that may or may not be true or accurate, but definitely on the negative side and not on the positive. And she believed that those thoughts were the cause of illness. And if you get her book, this is what her original book looked like. This is what her newly printed, or I don't know how long this one's been out, but it's been years. But this is what the newer printed one looks like. And then she has this Heal Your Body booklet. This one, these two, this one and this one, are the original books. And there's a lot of information. She goes through the first half of the book, probably. Maybe about half. This much of the book is her talking about illness and our thoughts. And the rest of this portion back here, is all the illnesses. So anything from an ingrown toenail to heart disease or cancer or whatever the illness is. And most of these are physical illnesses, although there are some that are mental. But the thought is that we have these repeating thoughts or repeating beliefs, and we continually say them over and over and over again in our own minds. Now, if you watch my video on the I am followed by a negative statement, that will give you a clue about what I'm talking about. I am fat, I am old, I am weak, I am unstable, I am all these things that we think in our minds that are not necessarily true. And we repeat them to ourselves over and over and over again. Things like, I am unsafe, or I am is very powerful. And anything you put after I am, you are actually manifesting. So you want to make sure whatever is coming after the I am is a positive thing. The other video that you'll want to watch is my video on thoughts. And the reason why I say that is because very briefly, very quickly, not a lot of the thoughts that you actually have are your thoughts. A lot of thoughts are coming, and depending on your level of spirituality, your level of empathy, your level of connectedness to the universe, to the angelic realm, you could be getting a lot of messages from your guides, your guardians, the angels, God, Jesus, whoever. A lot of upper level angelic realm messages are constantly coming into us. On top of that, the people that we're around, that we associate with, the people that we see on a regular basis, and even demons can put thoughts into your head. So you may not even realize that you have had thoughts put into you that are not your own, that you need to purge, you need to get rid of. You need to cleanse out of your aura. You need to get rid of them completely. You may just think, God, I'm just such a negative person. But guess what? Maybe you're not a negative person, but everything that you are absorbing around you is making you a negative person. That is always a possibility. So you really need to look at your environment with a critical eye and say, okay, is this healthy for me? Is this healthy for me? Is this healthy for me? Is this having a positive impact on my life, on my health, on my mental health, on the thoughts that I'm thinking? I mean, if you live with somebody who is just constantly in a negative state of mind, you will be very aware of how detrimental one person's negative state of mind can be to everybody. And I'm actually going to do a video on that too very soon. And I don't know what I'm going to call it, so just look for it if you're interested. Anyway, back to Louise Hay. These are all the things that are going through your mind. They may not be attached to you. They could be something from an outside influence. They could be a song that you heard that had words in it that were not positive, that were not good. And the song got stuck in your head and it continues to play and play and play over and over and over again. You're repeating the words in the song in your mind. That is unhealthy. That is not yours. That is something that is being put into your mind. So you really need to look at these things because those things have an effect on your physical health. So if you are having a lot of physical ailments, physical issues, I've noticed, and I have done this myself. I mean, I sat down with my guides and I said, what in the hell is going on? I don't understand. Why do I have all these nagging little things? By nagging little things, I'm talking about, for a while I had this rash or something on the back of my head. The back of my head just itched all the time. Well, I finally realized through my guardian, my guides, that it was shampoo. The shampoo has these chemicals in it that were irritating my scalp. So I switched and I went to all natural. Things like I had rash right here on my arms. No idea where it came from. Don't even know what it was. It finally was cleared up. But I have no idea where it came from. Little things like pains, like your knees hurt or your elbows hurt, which everybody thinks that this is normal part of aging. It's not. It is inflammation. You can't say, well, I'm 60 years old and that's just normal for 60 years old. It's not. No amount of pain is normal at any age, unless you have something wrong. You should feel good. You should feel energized. You should be eating correctly. You should be getting enough sleep, and you shouldn't have pain. If you have pain, that's a sign of something going on in your psyche, your mind, that is triggering this problem, or you're eating something that is triggering it. So the basic idea is to change your thoughts. So Louise has a thing here where she puts down like the illness. Let's say it's something like an ingrown toenail, okay? Doesn't seem to be a big problem, but it's something that hurts and it bothers you every day, all day if you have an ingrown toenail. I have had them. Ingrown toenails, I think if I remember right, are like some stress about the future. Feet are future. So it's something that you're doing in your mental process where you're thinking or worrying about some situation off in the future. And she tells you what that thing is for whatever it is. I'm just using ingrown toenails as an example. And then at the end, she gives you a positive affirmation that you can say to assist you. Now, this doesn't mean that you do a positive affirmation instead of going to see a doctor. You go to see the doctor if that's what you need to do. This is not something that is to replace medical assistance. This is something that you would do to enhance the healing process. So much like you know, if you're diagnosed with an illness, you are seeking a doctor's assistance. You are under medical care, I would hope. But there are other things that you can do during this process that will assist in your healing. And some doctors do actually recommend doing that. Some doctors are just too busy to even get into that. But there are things that you can do to assist yourself in your own healing process while you are under the care of a physician. And I would recommend, I always do this, always do this on every doctor visit, whether it's a physical or, an issue. I always ask when they say, okay, this is what's wrong, this is what we're going to do. I always say, what is the alternative? What is the natural alternative? Now, that's assuming I'm not at a naturopath. If you're going to a naturopath, the naturopath's going to give you the alternative right off the bat. But if you're going to a regular GP or internal doctor, whatever your doctor is, make sure that you ask, what is your recommendation for natural healing? You do not have to take medications. You do not have to follow what that doctor is going to tell you to do. You need to open up and say, have the doctor explain why he's prescribing you a medication or why he is prescribing this particular path for healing and what you can expect from that healing path. And what is the alternative and what can you expect from that path? What is the natural path to this healing? Hopefully, they will have suggestions for you. My doctor usually does. And if he doesn't, he will give me options or he'll tell me where I can find the information. And I appreciate that because I'm not doing the standard basic medical treatment for anything. For anything. I am going to go with the natural. Anyway, this book here is just a condensed version. This is the end of this book. So if you want a small, quick guide, I think this one's like, I don't know, $4 or $5, or it used to be $4 or $5. Anyway, if you want a quick guide, something that you can just pick up and thumb through and say, okay, I have a stomach ache, what's the cause of this and what is the affirmation for it, you can get the smaller Heal Your Body condensed version. And that is one of the ways that you can assist yourself in your own natural healing. The other way is I did a video on subliminals and Hertz frequencies. You can watch that. That also will assist you greatly. The other thing is your diet. And I am not talking about you need to be eating nuts and fruits. I'm talking about going back to cooking from scratch. Don't buy prepackaged processed foods in any way, shape, or form. That is the simplest way I can explain it. That means soda pop's gone. That means switching from organic or from normal to organic, like mayonnaise. Okay, mayonnaise it has a compound in it. I can't remember right now. It's HD something or other. Anyway, it has something in it that's not really good for people. And I recommend switching to either homemade mayonnaise if you can make it. I can't make it. I'm absolutely horrible at making mayonnaise. So I buy the avocado mayonnaise, which is an organic mayonnaise, and it's really easy. You don't have to worry about trying to make your own mayonnaise, but it's really good. And it has a little bit of mustard in it too, which I really like. Mustard seed, I think. Anyway, I'm not talking about nuts and berries. I'm talking about eating pretty much the way you eat right now, only making it yourself. So if you eat bread, make it yourself. If you eat tortillas, make them yourself. Tortillas are super easy to make. If you make, if you eat hamburgers, like go to the McDonald's and buy hamburgers, don't do that. Make it yourself. If you want hamburger buns, make it yourself. If you want sourdough muffins, make it yourself. And you'll be amazed. Like, it'll be hard at the beginning. It really is. It's a little difficult when you're very first starting out and you're learning how to make your own food. It's a little overwhelming, but the more you do it, the more repetition, the easier it becomes, and you will find that you can whip up dinner from scratch in a half an hour at tops. I mean, it just kind of depends on how much you do it, how often you do it. Cookies, cakes, things like that, don't buy them prepackaged. Don't buy them at the bakery. Make them yourself. If you want pudding, make it yourself. Although right now, you want to stay away from milk products. But things like I'm staying away from milk products right now, so I'm doing organic berries and apple juice to make like smoothies or ice cream kind of thing. Just because I'm avoiding all milk products. Things like that, things where with a little tiny bit of creativity, you can create something that is very healthy and very good for you and will not cause a reaction. And I'm telling you, if you change your diet to making your own from good ingredients, within 6 months, your health will be completely different. You will be in such good health. You will feel great. You will have energy. You will want to go out and do things. And if you do this and the tapes, you will increase your mental focus. You will start focusing on the positive. You will start thinking more positively. You're eating more positively. You're thinking more positive. You are combating specific illnesses or specific irritations that you have. And if you can, learn how to talk to your guides. Learn how to talk to your angels. You want your guardians, you want your angels, you want your angelic team. You want to really focus on higher vibrational understanding of what is happening in your life, and they can give that to you. And I know it's a little scary thinking about trying to communicate with them. I am working on a program, hopefully sometime in the future, where I can help people with that communication. But we'll see. We'll see where that goes. It's just something that's bouncing around in my head. Yeah. So get on a positive path. Start thinking positive thoughts. Do not say I am and anything negative. Start doing the healing frequencies, the meditations, and start cooking your food from scratch. And I guarantee you, in 6 months' time, you will feel like a completely new person. One other thing, you want to make sure that you're filtering your water. You want to stay away from bottled water. Bottled water, they have found, contains mass amounts of plastic. You don't want that in your body. Get you a cup like this, cold type thing that you can put filtered, purified water in. That way you are not getting, this I think is stainless. You're not getting the plastics, and you are getting purified water. I would recommend some kind of water purifier, probably the least expensive. One that I use, and I love it, is the Berkey. Berkey's not too far from me. I use it. I love it. They've had a really hard time. They've had a lot of demon attacks. They really have. They've had a lot of demon attacks. But that's what I do. You kind of have to decide what you want to do. And there is a lot of crazy stuff when it comes to water filtration, but I would definitely get on a water filtration system of some sort. Make sure you are filtering your water as best you can. And I think that's it. So if you have had information, or if you've used Louise Hay, leave a comment below. Let me know. I would love to hear your positive, life-affirming stories. If it didn't work for you, leave it below too. I would love to hear those as well. Blessings.